Come and join the gathering on Equilarium FM for inspired conversation and guidance to lighten and brighten your day. Claire Johnson has gatherings around her kitchen table with a group of interesting and vibrant guests who are professionals from all fields of the healing arts. Real people integrating spirituality into everyday reality. Laughter and joy are two of the main dishes served at her table. And now, here is your host, Claire Johnson, raising vibrations across the nations, inspiring you to become all that you can be.
Hello and welcome to Show 10 on Equilarium FM, our wonderful new manifestation. So here we are in the heart of Sussex, raising vibrations across the nations. And this week's show, around the gathering at my kitchen table, the Real Holistic Housewives will be discussing the powerful number 10, the history and significance of the Midsummer Solstice, and the lesser-known 10th chakra, which is known as the mighty cosmic heart. I will be sharing some more insightful pieces of Thoth's teaching and reading my latest writing to uplift and inspire. So, welcome to the gathering with my special co-hosts, Jill Orsman.
Oh, hello Claire. Hello everybody.
Josephine Tyrrell.
Hello Claire. Hello everyone. Lovely to be here with you today.
Our regular and new co-host, Anita Young.
Hello everybody.
And this week's very special guest is Gabrielle Rafello.
Hello everyone.
Welcome.
Hello Gabrielle.
Hello Gabrielle.
Welcome. Right, Gabrielle is fantastic. She's the director of the Koorana Centre, which is a place that inspires creativity, spirituality and well-being through a variety of activities that promote self-development. She teaches Reiki and Angelic Reiki and a variety of self-development programs. Being very creative herself, she also enjoys painting and working with colour in a number of different ways and will be running her very first summer retreat at the centre this July. As a mentor, she specialises in helping young people who are highly sensitive and offers a programme of talks, workshops and one-to-one sessions. In September this year, Gabrielle will be launching her new foundation, which aims to empower young people. So, in a while, we'll come over to you, Gabrielle, and we'll hear more about all those wonderful things happening in your beautiful centre. But to begin with, we're going to talk about some of the basic facts about number 10. Number 10 symbolises the completion of a cycle. It's the first number of heaven, the world, and the universal creation. Capricorn is the 10th astrological sign in the zodiac. I don't know about the rest of you. I'm surrounded by Capricorns.
Oh yes, definitely.
The meaning of 10, biblically, is a very significant and important number. It literally means perfection of divine order, completeness, nothing lacking, everything in proper order, and the start of a whole new order. It's the number of completion in most systems. Number 10 represents perfection, completion, and fulfillment. So we're in for a good show, I think, today.
Wonderful.
Yeah, mightily fulfilled. So, yes, 10 and 0 added together comes down to number 1, which is about rebirth, which starts and stirs and awakens the soul at this time.
Well, you certainly are being stirred up, aren't you, Claire?
Oh my God.
Because you're getting ready to move, aren't you? We're coming to the end of one particular phase and starting another one.
Yeah, it couldn't be more appropriate. You're right. This is the last show that we're hosting from this house and this studio. And next week we'll be in a new home. So it's the completion. Although we've got 2 more shows to go as this first season of Equilarium FM. This is, as you say, the completion of the 10 in this house. So,
Yeah, definitely.
It's quite apparent. Right. 10 is the number of the cosmos and the paradigm of creation. I mean, we all love the cosmos. Have you?
We do.
We do.
So love it.
Have you seen the series, The Cosmos?
Oh wow.
It is epic.
Yes.
If there's ever anything to get the box set of and to watch, it's just called The Cosmos. And it is amazing. It's a continuation of the Carl Sagan programme, which was done many, many years ago.
It's Seth MacFarlane, isn't it?
It is.
Seth MacFarlane. And it's just the most incredible show, isn't it? It's breathtaking, isn't it?
Absolutely breathtaking. The visual effects and the information. You sit there and watch it. It's like brain food, isn't it? You just go... I just love it. So yeah, 10 is the number of the cosmos, so that's great. The decade contains all the numbers and therefore all things and possibilities. 10 is an all-inclusive representing law, order and dominion. It is seen as the perfect and the return to unity. When based on the digits of the two hands, is the completeness and the foundation of all counting. Its highest ranges of completeness. So often it's 10 out of 10 is your highest score, isn't it? Like in the Olympics and things like that. So it is. It's supreme completion. So it's the number of completion, of all sorts of things, of journeys and returns to origins. Odysseus wandered for 9 years and returned on the 10th. That's in the famous story, the Odyssey. Mm-hmm. And that's about trials and tribulations. So that's very apt as well, because all of life is an adventure. It's the ups and the downs, and it's how you deal with the adversity when you're met with it. It's not, you wouldn't want life to just be an open road that's a smooth. You might want it to on some level, but
how you navigate
it's
your way
how
through.
you navigate through it. Yeah, and so I think that's a very,
I think you could talk about Equilarium as being the Odyssey, couldn't you? I mean, that's going to
Yes.
be that. Well, and when you look back on it in time, you'll just see that it's just unfolded as this, epic Odyssey.
It's true. And it's had 17 years to come to this point, but from now on, it's going to get even more exciting.
It certainly is.
So the number 10 itself is a holy number and a symbol of totality. That Pythagoras considered 10 to be a symbol of universal creation. So that goes back to the cosmos thing, doesn't it? So we're definitely dealing with some cosmic energy today.
And also, it's a little bit unknown that there's beyond the 7th chakra, there's also other chakras, and we've had a look at the 10th chakra, haven't we? And it relates to the cosmic heart, which also Gabrielle mentioned earlier today, didn't you? You didn't realise we were going to call this the cosmic heart, but 10 relates to that. And I'm just going to read something from this book. It's called The Angels of Atlantis by Stuart Pearce, who does a lot of work with the healing voice. It says, this beautiful Larimar-coloured chakra lies between the heart and the throat chakra in the physical body and aligns the soul's incarnation with the interconnectedness of cosmic love, a mixture of heart-centeredness and divine expression. It is opened in celebration of its alignment with the consciousness of the 23 other civilizations existing in the universe. These civilizations exist within the far reaches of the galaxy, and in our contemporary society we are just opening to a responsibility for our extraterrestrial or ultra-terrestrial neighbours. Whereas the Atlanteans were frequently visited by intergalactic travellers, thereby opening an expanded awareness of the vast astronomical life existing with the multiverse. And he says that this chakra is cared for by Archangel Zadkiel. That's quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, very
I've heard of
interesting.
that chakra being called the higher heart chakra. Only last year, I didn't know there was a chakra in between.
So, Gabrielle,
heart
what
and
do
the
you know? What do you know about?
I felt very drawn to do some work around the higher heart in the last couple of years, especially. I think a lot of people are now really focusing on that chakra point in the body. It's interesting, the listeners won't be able to see, but I'm actually wearing this wonderful colour that actually resonates, and I can really feel its energy coming through as we're speaking. It really is about taking that compassion to a whole new level. Really opening up our hearts and understanding we are the same energy. We have this sense of unification. For me, that's definitely what it means.
Yeah,
But there's no separation.
Absolutely.
We're all one.
We're all one.
yeah. Well, that's a recurring theme, isn't it? Of ours, that it is. It's about that, trying to connect everybody to everybody else and stop this separateness, this judgment, this isolation. Because so many people feel alone on the planet, and that's so sad when people feel so lonely, because we're all the same. And if you just even get two lonely people to speak to each other, you find that you're not on your own.
No,
People look from the outside and go, "Oh, you're in a big family. You might be happy," and look like that from the outside. But you stop and speak to people, and so often there's a little bit on the inside. I'm alone and isolated. And so that's where it needs to be, even connecting yourself to the cosmic heart, so that you don't feel alone inside your head. I mean, somebody said to me once, which was so true, you can be in a group of people, you can live your life in amongst as many friends and family as you want, but when you go to sleep, we all sleep alone. And it's just, that's where you have to make your connection. It's just that when you're on your own, that one-to-oneness, isn't it? So when you can connect that heart to everything, then you don't feel so isolated. You don't feel so...
So going inside and connecting with your own higher heart.
Exactly.
And then connecting that with all the other higher hearts.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
So, yes, also we've just had the Summer Solstice. And the Summer Solstice it's a big thing here in England. I don't know how much it's celebrated in America or in the rest of the world, but in England, because we're such a pagan country, and of course we've got the mighty Glastonbury.
Absolutely.
The throne of all paganism.
Yeah.
So this Summer Solstice usually occurs on the 21st of June, but it can occur on the 20th and the 22nd. But it's the pagan festival of midsummer. It's the solstice, or the letha, means the stopping or standing still of the sun. And the summer solstice is the longest day of the year and is celebrated by thousands of pagans across the world. And in the northern hemisphere, the solstice usually falls around the 21st, and this year it did, bang on it, which was really good. And Stonehenge, as I mentioned, is believed to have been used as an important religious site by the early Britons 4,000 years ago. So recent pagan celebrations at the site began in the 20th century, but for 4,000 years the solstice has been celebrated in the UK. So
incredible to think,
absolutely,
isn't it? 4,000 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then it always gets a mention on the end of the news. Well, I don't know if someone watched the news for 10 years, but it used to. And then and then here's the quick shot from Stonehenge to show them, and they always portray it as like, and there's the nutters down at Stonehenge watching the sunrise. But when you realise that that's been going for 4,000 years in this country, way longer than the BBC or anyone who's reporting on it. So it's just like that reconnecting to truth rather than just that judgment and that portrayal
and
of
to
it.
nature, like you say, Claire.
Absolutely.
Yeah, connect to nature, and that is being out in nature, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's the
And
natural
that
rhythm.
midpoint of the year as well, isn't it? That.
So after the break, we've got a new piece of writing to do with the solstice.
We have, actually.
Okay.
Yes, we have.
Which I'm writing.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, stay tuned.
The cutting edge of conscious radio. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Live with medium Lisa Phoenix, Mediumship Messages and Musings, explores mediumship and all things metaphysical. Lisa Phoenix invites you to reach above and beyond your everyday experiences to explore new dimensions in the spirit world. She will do live readings to connect callers to their loved ones in spirit, shares engaging stories and teachings from her own personal experience, and will have intriguing conversations with other mediums, spiritual teachers, and healers to help you understand the metaphysical world so you can connect to these forces in your day-to-day life. Join your host on this magical and metaphysical journey into the world of spirit every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community. The number one reason girls drop out of school in sub-Saharan Africa is lack of access to feminine hygiene products. The Pads for Schoolgirls Project, an outreach of Humanity Healing International, is changing this paradigm by setting up sewing programs at schools, teaching girls a vocational skill, while producing the reusable pads that help keep them attending classes. The girls pay it forward by making and giving pad kits to other girls in need. To learn more, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is.
Do you have time to read that inspiring book or that blog post you've been meaning to get to? In your busy world, how do you improve yourself and keep your life going? I'm Lisa Kay, and my Between Heaven and Earth radio show can transform your life just by listening. Be uplifted with inspiring topics, positive stories, and ideas that really work. Between Heaven and Earth radio is conscious living for your soul, every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Okay, so welcome back. Claire's got a really lovely piece of Thoth's teachings to read out, haven't you? All about gold and solstice.
Yeah, so I received this on the 21st of June, which, as we said, was the Summer Solstice. So if you'd like to sit comfortably and close your eyes if possible, not when you're driving, as we've said before, but just take a moment to allow the words to settle. There truly is magic in the air and everywhere, especially at this time. Get into the right frame of mind and welcome it with open arms. Abundance and prosperity abound, so open yourself up and pull it down to the ground. Let it pour and pour and pour into your core. Golden and warm and pure and solid, tangible and real. Feel it, embrace it, become one with it. Let it become you. Become golden. Receive the golden light of the sun in its highest, fullest measure. Become the greatest thing on earth. Become the greatest treasure ever. 'Tis entirely up to you to do what you will with the magic that is around. Do something profound. Use it like a truly gifted magician can. Tap it, use it, do not abuse it. Use it for the mighty empowerment and betterment of the masses. Do not just look to better your life, to improve or upgrade the material things that aid your existence. Think on a greater scale and act upon those thoughts and do what you've come to do, which is far more than you have been taught is humanly possible. Break free from all the false restrictions you have been led to believe exist to satisfy other people's power and greed. What you all need is a mighty shot of self-belief. You can do it. Yes, you can. Use the magnificent extra golden magic of the sun in its highest high. Whilst it is positioned so highly in its zenith, 'tis time indeed to replenish yourself from source, to boost your own self-worth, to be abundant upon the earth, to be richer than rich in all the ways possible, rich in wisdom, rich in love, rich in kindness, rich in greatness. Be great, do great things. Believe in your goldenness and see what it brings. Celebrate this solstice, for it is a very special day. Then believe in magic and stay golden in every way.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Wonderful.
Lovely piece, wasn't it?
Very high vibrational words, because I close my eyes when I listen to that, and you can feel the vibration of the words.
I
Beautiful.
just loved it when it was describing the gold. It was just like, oh, you could feel it, and it's thick and warm. It was like a sort of...
For me, it felt wonderful. I love the word profound. Do something profound. It's like an invitation to actually go and experience that magic, but really share it with that beautiful heart energy.
Yeah,
absolutely. And the beautiful thing about having you here today, Gabrielle, is because, you know, we've called the show Equilarium, and it's all about the project that Claire's building, and she'll talk about that in a minute. But the fact that you've actually gone ahead and realised your own vision, haven't you? And we're so inspired by what you've been able to create.
Thank you, Jill. It's been an absolute privilege. I feel very humbled, and there are many moments where I find myself literally pinching myself because I have a beautiful space and some amazing people that actually operate in that space. And I just see things coming together, unfolding quite naturally. And it's about having that trust. That's something I've had to learn to do, is just totally trust that the universe knows exactly what to put into that space, how it needs to unfold. It's a remarkable position to be in.
So how did it come about, Gabrielle? How did you manage to, manifest this amazing
I woke up one
project?
day and I'd had a retail business for 10 years, which I was very happy in. I'm a very creative person and I've really enjoyed that time in my life. but certainly woke up one day and felt it was time for me to move on from that, and had this feeling that I wanted to run my own centre. I didn't get too attached to how that would manifest necessarily. And actually it was a good job that I didn't, because I think if I'd stopped to think about it, I don't think I would ever have imagined how it came together, how it came about. I put out that intention, didn't get in the way of myself. I think I was too busy thinking about the existing business I had and how I would sell that. And 3 months later, a friend texted me to say there was a beautiful building locally that was available. It was a former chapel, a Victorian chapel, with an old classroom as well. And it literally had a for sale sign outside. So happened to mention it to a colleague of mine, who actually turned around and said to me, well, we're looking for a building to invest in. Shall we go and have a look at it? And I was absolutely bowled over.
Wow.
Gosh, that's amazing.
If I'd had too much time to really think about it, I could have totally got in the way of that whole process of manifestation.
So you said centre, but were you thinking at that time it was a spiritual centre, or what was your vision of the centre?
I primarily wanted somewhere to teach myself, and I also felt it was important to grow a community. And I felt that if someone like me was working, was teaching, was as a therapist, perhaps seeing clients at home, there might be other people like me who wanted to have that sense of somewhere to go, somewhere where they could be part of a team, where they could work together. And really, Koorana was born from that, a sense of really wanting to create a brand new community within the area I live, where people could come and they could just totally be themselves, but they could also really reconnect with that essence of who they are.
And you were telling me earlier, Gabrielle, that Koorana has got a special meaning. Where did you find the name?
I was actually on a course, I was on a workshop when the name was channeled 3 times. And I thought, right, I've heard this 3 times, I need to look it up. And so I did some Googling, and Koorana is an Aboriginal term. It means to bring forth the children.
Wonderful.
So that naturally
that's
took me into that space, thinking actually this completely marries together with some of the thoughts I had for launching a foundation as well, which is what I'm in the process of doing.
And you were saying, we had the conversation earlier, and you were saying that it doesn't just limit itself to the young, to the children, but you're also saying it can equally apply to anyone in life to honour their inner child.
Absolutely, because when we really embrace that innocence and really reconnect with that inner child, that's when the real growth occurs. And we can't really grow into that space until we totally embrace that inner child.
So what you've done here is absolutely amazing. You've put the thought out there, and then it's come to you with such ease. It's come back to you and said, you're really going to be supported. The universe has supported you in your vision. So talk about the law of attraction.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's incredible.
Well, it's an inspiration to us all, and particularly right now where we're going with Equilarium, because we're in that early incubation stage where it's a concept, it's an idea, and we're in that trust.
Yes.
So to have you here, it's like the most amazing, example of that. You hold that trust, and then it will come.
A few things have happened this week, Claire, though, haven't they?
Yes.
Yesterday and the day before, that are really hotting up Equilarium and its manifestation in real terms, which is lovely, isn't it?
Very much so. By holding the space, like you're saying, and trying not to get in the way, and particularly this week, because I'm really distracted with moving house, which is a mighty thing to do. Because my studio alone, as you know, girls, is packed with being dismantled. Being dismantled around us. But
but that's actually perfect, because the universe is working around you to create those distractions, so you don't meddle too much with this beautiful thing that needs to unfold very naturally. You've planted the seeds. And now they're about to grow, and in a very similar way, other things have come in just so that you can stay out of your own way.
Yeah,
and
that's
also,
a nice way to see it.
It's trusting that the void will be filled, and just like you did when you finished your business, Gabrielle, and you put paid to that one. The Koorana Centre came out of that, and I think this is what we'll find, even with you moving house, moving your studio, moving everything here. Things are definitely hotting up this week, and I think we'll see the manifestation of that.
Yeah.
So
I think and when we started the show, we've got 12. We've got no idea when we were going to have to move or when we would be moving. So the fact that it's here on show 10, which is completion, is, you have to trust the divine timing of everything, don't you?
But it's also beginning, so you also have to acknowledge it's not only completion, it's the beginning of something new, something incredible.
And that then here you are as the guest this week, with this is your story, which is the inspiration to, take me across that void and take us all across that void. So, right, okay, it's going to come by staying in that trusting space.
But I also think what is lovely as well, we are, we call ourselves laughingly the Real Holistic Housewives, but we are very much that, aren't we? We're all here, we've all got our families, we're just leading ordinary, everyday lives, but we've got this higher calling that we want to fulfill, and you've just shown a way that just by having that thought, just by putting that thought out there, which everyone and anyone can do, anyone listening into this programme can do that, and the universe has got a wonderful way of supporting that and just saying, look, you can do it, just like your writings just said there, Claire.
Throws in a few kids to keep you out of your own way, as you would say. Just a few distractions, just to keep you. Yes, 9, Josephine. 7.
So you would have gone well and truly in your own way if you didn't have 7 children to keep you out of your way.
7 sons.
Yeah, 7 sons. But yes, I like that idea, because otherwise your head muddles, doesn't it? You start thinking, how that's going to work? How am I going to raise the money? How am I going to do this? And if you're off looking in other directions, as you said, we've had some wonderful phone calls and people come into my life just over the last 2 days, and I haven't even left my house. But people that have come who said, oh, I know someone and I've got this connection that can knock, and the dots are starting to be connected, while I'm literally focusing just on moving the house.
Yeah. But I mean, even if you'd put it out there, you probably couldn't have found a more perfect building, a church with a classroom,
you tried to
a divine intervention.
Yeah, it was quite a remarkable experience. And I think certainly for me in the last 10 years, I've really learned about letting go of control.
And it's in the beautiful village of Ardingly, isn't it? Which is a beautiful village in the Sussex.
Very quiet.
Yes.
And it's got a lovely space around it. We've also got a garden, which is just the ultimate, which is lovely.
And we're going to be doing some workshops from there, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. We're all running our workshops from there.
So after the break, we're going to hear a little bit about Equilarium, aren't we, Claire?
Yes, we are indeed.
Okay.
Your conscious connection to a more mindful world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
What if living didn't have to be so serious?
What if you could move beyond your problems with greater confidence and ease than you've ever imagined?
Throw your labels out the window and join the Irreverent Therapist for practical tips and a very different way of approaching the changes you would like to create.
Marilyn Bradford
and Pam Hodling
have empowered hundreds of people to come out of self-judgment, quit looking to experts, and begin to create the lives they desire.
Join us Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Irreverent Therapist Show.
Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network. What if business could be fun? What if business is the adventure of living? What are you choosing? Where do you do business that makes it easier, more fun, or more joyful for you? We'd love to see where you do business. Connect with us on Instagram at Joy of Business or Twitter at Joy of Business, and share your pictures with hashtags BusinessDoneWhere and Joy of Business. Let's change the world with business.
Hello, I'm Miriam Knight of New Consciousness Review, inviting you to my new show where I interview the rising stars of the conscious awakening. We'll explore the many faces of consciousness in action and intriguing perspectives on life, the universe, and everything in between. Join us each Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern on the Rising Stars Show.
Bringing you the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio, your conscious lifestyle on steroids.
Okay, welcome back. So, Claire, would you like to just tell the readers, the writers, the listeners, everybody's going to be involved.
Everybody out there.
What
Our lovely friends out there.
What is this project all about?
Equilarium.
Equilarium,
yes.
Yeah.
Well, Equilarium is a visionary project that I first had 17 years ago, and it got mothballed because the time wasn't right for me and the time wasn't right for the world at that moment until 2012, where it's really come hurtling out and really wants to come forward now. It's going to be an amazing new type of architectural earth acupuncture. It's going to be a state-of-the-art, high-vibration, holistic healing centre that's designed to heal the planet as well as the mind, body and spirit of humanity. Very much coming from the cosmic heart. I think it's a cosmic heart project,
yes.
Actually. It has a very specific destination and point of healing where it wants to be, which is in Northern California. It wants to be built on sacred ground, on the volatile and geo-stressed weak point of the planet, the place where it is needed most to deliver harmonious healing energy and vibrations to help counteract and readdress the discordant, disruptive energy on the San Andreas fault line. So I don't know if anyone's seen that film.
No,
I didn't see it.
No,
actually.
no,
Has anybody here seen it?
No, but it's interesting. It's come out.
That's come out
during our little
to hype the fear of what could happen on the San Andreas fault line.
Yes.
Whereas Equilarium's calling to come and be put there
Which would
instead.
create a vibration.
Absolutely.
To try and hopefully deter.
And we're going to do the earth acupuncture, and it's the building itself will have
Exactly.
the earth
It's going to be an
acupuncture.
amazing new type of architectural earth acupuncture, which is designed and built using sacred geometry, but to put good positive healing vibrations back into the planet. It's going to be a type of empowerment centre to instruct and ignite the hope and self-worth of current and future generations by working with and teaching the incredible healing power and importance of living in high vibrations.
Absolutely.
Because, as you all know, we're living in a very strong curve of our global awakening, and everyone is experiencing great changes as the whole paradigm of our world is shifting. And we have to actively take action to become conscious citizens of the planet, not just as inhabitants of our individual states and countries, or villages even. Mm-hmm. It should be our united legacy to do whatever we can all do for the future generations and the survival of the planet as a healthy, vibrant, pleasant land. So we'll be looking to provide as much information and education, positive support and guidance to inspire and empower all individuals to understand their own energy and how best to use it for the collective common good. So it's about healing disconnect of people to their own connection to source. It's about healing disbalance and inharmony. What's the word for inharmony? What's it?
Disharmony.
Disharmony. That's the one. So it's a centre for re-establishing your equilibrium on all levels. So it's an equilarium, and so it has a very large glass dome, which has got huge pieces of real crystal inset into the glass of the canopy, so that they're recharged with the full moon energy. So that all the air and the light in the building is crystal infused. So
beautiful.
Just by stepping into the building, even if you are a sort of unconscious citizen, as it were, and you're just stepping in there to visit the 7-star spa, you're going to breathe it in. It's going to activate your heart chakra. It's going to be an empowerment because it's going to realign your chakras and work on you subliminally. So, if you've got your closed mind, doesn't matter. We're going to get in there on a vibrational level. So it's very, very important. But one of the main aspects of it is the education centre. It has an enormous stone amphitheatre, so that all the talks and the lectures and the workshops that are run there, all the information, the wisdom, the ancient wisdom that's taught, goes into the bedrock of the actual building, and it resonates down and puts those good vibrations back into the earth. And then it's also being fed from Mother Earth energy, because it's the ancient wisdom, it's all the power of working with the elements of the earth. So it's going to be completely as above, so below, and self-sustaining.
Dream come true.
Dream come true.
Dream come true.
And it's going to be the first of many.
It is going to be the first of many. So we're going to build it as a mighty flagship, and it is a beacon of hope, as I say, to so many people. I mentioned briefly last week that my son and my godson, who are 20 in their early 20s, both declared that they really want to be part of the construction crew. They actually want to physically build it. They said, we want to do something to help our generation and for our own children in the future. They said, we'd love to be part of actually constructing this. They said, there's lots of young people who want to do something that feel disempowered in the world as it is right now. They feel that their opinions don't count. I mean, you must have encountered this, have you, with your work?
I do. I mentor a lot of young people, and there is this sense of not knowing quite where they fit in or how they fit in. The gifts that are coming through them aren't yet being recognised, and sometimes they lack confidence because they're not quite sure why they're here. And I think it really doesn't take a great deal to sit them down and just hold the space around them and show them exactly, what it is they're here to do. And a lot of the time, as soon as you speak to them in that way, they just the look in their eyes, they just come alive. There's something about them. They feel a sense of purpose and meaning, which is so strong in our young people now. We've really got to give them that opportunity to find that sense of meaning.
Absolutely. It's so important to inspire these young people. They're the next generation. If we can't do that for them, they're the hope of the planet. What are these kids going to be doing? And if we can inspire them in the right direction to answer their calling in life, to show them that they're here and that they can become all that they can be, I think it actually ignites a fire within them and says, oh my goodness, there's something more, because we've got caught up in this materialistic world and all the peer pressures round about them,
and it's creating the right environment for them to flourish in. And so many of the environments they're having to live in and perhaps be educated in are just not aligned with who they are. So we're noticing a lot of shifts going on in our education system, particularly in the UK. I think we're definitely seeing a lot of things changing now to resonate with these young people.
Absolutely. But why don't they teach this stuff in schools? Across the planet, why do they not teach this in schools?
Because conversely, we've had this week, haven't we had a ride with Louis? My goodness
me.
My son has been doing, doing Art Foundation in Brighton, and Brighton's known for being a very open-minded, a very progressive town, isn't it, in the country? It's supposed to be the most progressive, really. Anything goes in Brighton.
That's why we live there.
That's why we live there. It's very colourful.
We love Brighton.
It's very arty, it's very open, eco, it's green, it's gay, it's everything you want it to be. It's a melting pot of the world.
Beautiful.
It is. And yet he did this project, and it was like you were allowed to write your own brief for your final project. Any subject, anything you want. And he was doing illustration and animation. And so he chose the subject of As Above, So Below, which is something that's always fascinated him. And he's been obsessed with the series of The Cosmos, as I've said, which is amazing. It's all about cosmic information. And it's about the balance of the universe, about the laws of attraction, about what you give back, out is what you get back, all of this. So he studied it and had great fun. We learned masses, didn't we, girls?
We did.
While he was doing his research. All into the sacred geometry, all into the ancient teachings of Merkabahs and the power centres and about Atlantis, the alignment of cosmic ordering. So he created this final piece, and all the way through the project, which was an 8-week project, the tutors were saying, oh yes, you're doing really well. I don't really understand what you're doing, but carry on with what you're doing.
Which was nice.
Which was great.
Yeah.
And then the final 2 weeks of the project, they closed the studio because they were doing something else in there, so you had to go off and work by yourself. And he came home and created this incredible final piece, big canvas. And when he took it in to show the tutors, she took one look at it while it was still wrapped up at the size of it, and she just said, no, I don't like it, that's not all right, we're not having it in the show.
It was over 6 foot, wasn't it?
It's 1.5 meters by a metre. But she judged it without even opening it and said, no, we can't have it here.
But the clue is in judgment.
Absolutely. And he said, are you not even going to open it and have a look at it? And she said to him, I've got 30 years of teaching experience, and I can make my judgment can be very quick. I was just like, well, what sort of is that? That's how close.
So the effect on your son must have been crucifying him.
Crucifying, because first of all you're told, make up your own brief, and then you follow it to the conclusion of your own project, and yet they get to there and go, oh no, we don't like that conclusion. And it's just like it's supposed to be his personal project. And so suddenly there's censorship on something, and it's become the most controversial piece in the college, because the students all stood behind him, and he said he created it as a voice piece, as a visual language for his generation. So our generation aren't supposed to get it. It's the language for the, like you say, his generation. They've got something to say. And
They so have, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what I feel really inspired by is the amount of attention your son's piece is getting already.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately what the universe wants to have through that right now. At the right time, I think a lot of us have to remember that things are unfolding in divine order.
Yeah.
He's got such a powerful energy. I think it's just amazing the way he's actually on a soul level. He's chosen for this beautiful piece of work to be introduced to the community that needs to see it. And maybe it's not just quite time yet.
No.
I love the fact that it's actually generating this debate.
I know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we're going to go, exactly. And so he got called into the staff room, and there was a photocopy of it pinned on the wall in the staff room. So it's like, well, they're talking about it.
Yeah.
And when he came home and told my husband, he just said, Louis, well, you've created a very successful piece of art then, because it's that controversial.
Absolutely.
And they're all talking about your piece. It doesn't matter whether they show it or not. It's got all the attention.
It's got the power, Claire.
Yeah, because it's full of hope, and it's amazing. But yeah,
But I think where we've got to be as parents and as educators, I think we've also got to show our children the other side as well, to say that, you know, have compassion for that teacher that doesn't,
we have exactly
that is making that judgment, because we've got to recognise that within our education system it is riddled with fear. You know, you've got all the governing bodies that come in and adjudicate and decide, you know, Ofsted, you know, the teachers are terrified. They've got to all pass these things, and then the head teachers have got to answer to the government further. Are their schools successful? So there's a lot of fear being generated around. But over the last few weeks, we've seen it in force, haven't we? We've seen it in force.
And very sadly, you know, we've just heard, you know, a couple of weeks ago, another one of his generation, age group, has just committed suicide after her first year at uni. It's just like they're out there, but they're not being supported necessarily in the way they should be. They're trying to say things, but they're getting crushed.
This is why your work is so important,
so
Gabrielle.
It's really
so
important
needed.
that you're doing this.
It's a real privilege to be able to offer this, and I'm really excited about the foundation.
Wonderful, Gabrielle, wonderful.
And after the break, we'll just, I'd like to share something with you, Gabrielle. Something personal with you.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
The Real Conscious Connection. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Eros Evolution is where sexuality and spirituality meets. Join me, clinical sexologist Martha Tara Lee, on Eros Evolution on Thursdays, 4 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio.
Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network. Are you trying to get from point A to point B and need a little advice? Connect with the counselors at OMTimes Advisors. Whether you're looking for a life coach or a spiritual intuitive, the advisors participating at advisors.omtimes.com were carefully chosen based on their gifts, skills, and professionalism. OMTimes Advisors, connecting you with the best advisors in the business.
Imagine magnificence. Do you live to your unlimited potential? Join me, Margaret Ann Lembo. Awaken your consciousness. Listen to Money Magnet Moment, Gem Spot Affirmations, Essential Aromatics, and Looking Skyward Astrocast, Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time.
Free your mind with OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Okay, so welcome back. And Gabrielle, I just wanted to say to you, because I've just been running my own workshops for the first time this year, and it's taken me a hell of a long time to find the right venue. And when I finally came to see your venue last year, I realised this is it. This is the place for me.
Wonderful.
So I just wanted to share that, you know, in relation to talking about Equilarium, I mean, that's going to be the centre that people on a global level will want to come to run their workshops or do their teachings or whatever. So I just wanted to say that to you, that and I have been looking a long time, and I'm going to be talking about the unseen next week.
Yep.
In relation to what I do. I'm going to be the special guest next week. I'm going to be saying a little bit more than I say right now.
But it's wonderful, Jill. I'm so excited about your workshops coming up because it's orbs, isn't it?
Yes, I photograph orbs and energy, seeing the unseen. I specialise in seeing the unseen, and that's really what we're all doing here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're pulling in this energy. You can't see something, we're creating it, we're manifesting it. You know, and you've done it, Gabrielle. You've got a beautiful, stunning centre.
Absolutely.
Claire's going to be running. She's going to be running her workshop there.
Just the same about it. Because if you're running a workshop, you need the centre or the place that you're doing it to hold your energy. You need to be able to put it out there and to hold the space while the members on your workshop are going through transition. Absolutely. While they're engaging with what you're showing them, while you're taking them to a different vibration. They need to be held.
And those processes need to be managed very safely. And that's something that's a value that I hold very strongly, is that safety. I personally, but through being a teacher myself, I was looking for venues that I could use that I felt safe in, but that sense of being held in a space when you're going through transformation is really important. And also for a teacher, to come into a space where the energy's already been cleared, you don't have to spend too much time doing that yourself. You come into this space and it's just perfect for the type of things you want to introduce to your students, to your participants in your course. It's so important to have that feeling of being held yourself as a teacher.
And in fact, today we were talking around the kitchen table that we've all decided we're going to do a joint workshop and a series of workshops from your beautiful centre.
I'm so excited about that. We really brainstormed some ideas today.
Fabulous.
So tell us all about it, Anita. What we're going to be doing.
We're going to be doing beautiful Buddha workshops and sacred singing bowl workshops where you can create and adorn your own wishing bowls and Buddhas, and then take that energy. So the Buddhas are going to be blessed and hold sacred space before then you beautifully just decorate and paint them, because you saw a lot of these over the years, Claire, haven't you? And there's clearly a need there, and this was just a download today. So what we're doing, the larger scale project, is enabling people to create a high vibration and take that into their home and then maintain the vibration in the home, which is beautiful.
But Buddhas have got very special energies for the garden too, haven't we? And we saw that last week at your house, didn't we?
We did. We just, I moved a few months ago, or 8 weeks ago, and the garden didn't feel quite right, and the children weren't playing in the garden. They're teenagers, but they still get out there and play cricket. But we just moved a Buddha, didn't we, Josephine? And the whole, I literally felt the energy. It's a very long garden. I just felt the energy just dispersed through the whole garden. You couldn't just put it into words,
didn't it? The whole energy, because you're built very close by a church, and we felt that something wasn't quite right with the energy. And just placing the sacred art of placement, putting that Buddha in that position, all of a sudden everything came into alignment, and it was palpable. That energy, beautiful energy, was palpable.
So we're going to be doing,
I think that'd be
lots
terrific.
of yummy things.
So then we can teach the candidates how to clear a space yourself, how to we can give a blessing to the Buddhas. So it can be a wonderful sacred ceremony for all of us to enjoy doing, and then people take them home and empower their own situations.
I think it's the beginning of our
I think it's such a wonderful thing to do, because you said it actually transformed the energy in your centre.
We have a Buddha that Claire created some time ago that was part of the Holistic Art House
a
couple of years ago, and I fell in love with it then. And to receive it back in the springtime, Claire, you came to the centre and brought it with you. It was just such a perfect weekend. It was beautiful. And from the moment he came in, I really sensed the energy shifting in the building, and it took it to a whole new level.
Fantastic.
And it's people can come and put their intentions into what they're doing, and even with the wishing bowls, they can create what it is that they're looking to do too, isn't it? And you put that back in to these beautiful artistic projects.
So they're empowering workshops as well, aren't they? So they're teaching and empowering others.
Giving them the tools they need to transform themselves and their spaces.
Because if you have energy in the house that you don't think is good, or you think is bad, you think there's something stuck, or it's all one and the same. Like we're saying, it's about getting into the flow, isn't it? So if it's stuck, you just need to get it into the flow to move it. So if it's bad, it's not bad. You just need to flip it into the good. So like this piece that fell out of my book, interestingly enough, this week while I've been moving my studio, I opened an old sketchbook, and this piece on a loose leaf of paper fell out, and it was written in 1992.
Oh, do you think that might have wanted to come up to the show?
Well, I think so. So I just thought, if you landed on the floor, then I think I better read it.
Yes.
So it's only a one-page one, so it's small, but if you'd like to, again, just close your eyes if you can and listen to this. The antithesis of a thing is the opposite extreme of the same. If you perceive them as such, pure truth remains. For there is good and bad, happy and sad, to be seen and found in all that abound, but they are all both one and the same. Don't look for one and hide from the other, or look for love and hide from a lover. Learn to draw the connection now and not in reflection. Be open to both sides of every story as the two sides of every coin. There would be no fun in a game of chance if you could foretell the outcome at a single glance. But when the hand of fate does flip the call, there is always great hope for one and all.
Oh, it's wonderful. And I mean, that could pertain absolutely to Louis' plight at college, couldn't it? Because it is the antithesis. It's the same thing. The teachers the professors are seeing his painting as something challenging.
Yeah,
but actually, if they dared to go within themselves, they would see there's a space for enlightenment too. And the Chinese have got the same word for misfortune and opportunity, and they look at it like it's the flip of a coin. Which way are you going to view it?
Yeah.
And so there is that lesson for the teachers. But
and we're all teachers and students of each other.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. It is. It's in that receiving. You give out, and you may be giving out in an educational form, but you get as much back. From, if you're open to it, you get as much back from the students.
But what they ought to be saying to the students is they ought to be empowering them instead of disempowering them, shutting them down and censoring them wrong.
But I sense they are in some ways. They're actually making them a little bit more hungry to get that sense of balance back. I think a little bit of this, the feeling of rejection isn't a bad thing. It's something that's actually fueling that fire. It's making them stand up and get a lot stronger in their own power. So I really, really admire the young people
I've
that
been
are
saying to
stepping
Louis
up.
all week, turn that anger into energy.
Absolutely.
Positive
It's
energy.
a great
it's
motivator.
fire in your belly. It's to get up and do something.
But I do think that as well, because I had a conversation with my own son's teacher this week that I told you about, and that's was basically saying the same thing that we're saying here today. And it's like, but the one thing I would say is, don't quash these young children's dreams. Give them all the hope that they can give, because with hope, hope floats, doesn't it? You can let them think they can come here and they can do everything and anything that they've come here to do.
They have a voice.
And it matters.
So in fact, yesterday I did this piece of writing, which I might have enough time to just read if I read it quite quickly, which is, be the star you know you are and soar. No more playing small at all. Up, up and away, any day now. Lift up your heart, your mind, your soul, for you are well on the way to achieving your goal. Do not let fear or disbelief come near, for they have a negative limiting effect. What you need to succeed is the most favourable of situations and vibrations, emotions and notions. Try and keep a positive stance at all times, even if things are difficult and tense. Trust me, there will be just recompense for your unwavering faith and belief. Then you can all breathe a mighty sigh of relief. Hold on to your faith, your sense of inner knowing that all will be well and good, even if your current reality is not suggesting that it could or would. You know it should, so trust that it will. Be confident in your heart, 'Tis the best place to start to put out the natural rhythm of success. Do not stress, so dearest one, for there are great, great things set to come. Open your heart and mind and hands, for the universe does indeed have a mighty plan that requires you to be the best you can. To achieve that end, you will need a helping hand, and so opportunities and surprises are on their way.
Wow, that's wonderful.
That's a beautiful way to close.
Yeah. Well, it just confirms everything that we've been saying, isn't it?
You did have a couple of surprises this week, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
A couple of chance phone calls. And
things. Exactly. And so, as you say, that message is for Louis. It's for everybody on that level. It's for all of us.
It's for all of us. It's to, trust.
Open.
And stay in that high vibration that allows possibilities to happen in your life. And it's staying golden, isn't it?
Stay golden. Yeah. Absolutely.
So, Anita.
Yes. So,
what are our requests?
Yes, a little request, because my belief and my inner knowing is that anybody that's to be a part of Equilarium, you already know inside. And so whether it's seed capital or whether it's a joint venture or whatever capacity, please do heed the call, look inside your heart. If it resonates, heed the call and get in touch.
Fabulous. So I'd like to say thank you very much to our wonderful guest, Gabrielle Rafello.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Such a lovely warm welcome.
So lovely to
and
you.
to my gorgeous co-hosts. Thank you, lovely.
We are
Real Holistic Housewives, and thank you for coming and playing the mighty game of Crohn's.
Namaste, Diddy.
Namaste, Diddy.
Stay golden.
Radiant vibrations across the nation. Staying golden.